Let's talk about compass cards. These are the smallest of the journey circles. They are fantastic cards that I think serve like little wayfinders. They're 3-inch rounds. They fit inside of the spiral path card beautifully. They can serve in all kinds of ways. They're really, really wonderful to combine in, like all cards, to art journals, to altered books, and to use in these key rings. So when you think about the purpose of compass keys, you know, we have key cards, but why would we want compass cards? Well, if they're serving as wayfinders or ways to seek direction in the journey, and each of these has its own energy. Maybe it's an archetypal energy, maybe it's a directional energy, or an evocative landscape, or a mood. How might a mood be a wayfinder? How might this energy of the moody teen be a wayfinder or serve in knowing one's direction or knowing how to move? So these are storytellers too. Think of the totem animal energy of the hummingbird and how that might serve, how seeking nectar might be a direction for you as you engage journey work or as you work with your cards in some evocative ways. Another wonderful bird with the edamame, so that's soybean. And here's a, really a reflective, prayerful stance. How can that become a wayfinder for you? We might use our compass cards to serve us in finding new direction, in self-care, or using the energy of the body in a certain way. Look at that beautiful image of holding space in the womb, remembering our sacred belly. So let's create a compass card together. Here's one that I started. And again, you want to always leave the image exposed, because the images in the Journey Circles process are as important as your images. These symbols actually serve in a variety of ways and allow you to create decks that will serve you in your work. So this I started with just a little bit of an energetic, kind of an image that just is layering in some of this soft pink energy. And then I have another image here that's quite different. They're quite edgy energy. This woman who's wearing kind of a mask and all of this wild flowing hair. This energy that comes in to meet this softer pink energy is speaking to me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that in. And I'm not really paying attention to the direction of the compass on the back. It happens to be pointing north, but it would be absolutely fine if it was directionally a different way. That might be important to you, so you would want to think about paying attention to the direction of the key or the direction of the compass. If you were using the compass or the key card, the spiral path, you can certainly create in any direction. So those are different card types in the Journey Circles process. And you, of course, can choose to create on any size or any form or use any symbol in any way that is meaningful to you. But this is speaking to me, and this is an energy that I actually experienced today. Really disrupted, funky, edgy energy, frustration, anger. And so this feels actually fantastic to me to create with today, because it feels important that I do some work with it. I am very grateful to have found these images, and I'm finding this evocative. So as a wayfinder, as a compass card, it's giving me a sense of choice. Now today, if I felt this energy and was reactive, I didn't have much choice. I was reacting rather than responding. But to create this card now, I have a sense of responsiveness, and actually I'm quite interested in finding out more about her story and why she gets angry, how she takes me in a certain direction without my permission. If I become reactive or feel frustrated with myself. And I also notice that maybe there's a little bit of a tendency to lash out when I'm in this state. And so this card becomes very, very useful to me as part of a living energy that I can then use and recognize outside of myself. So this card is going to be incredibly useful. And I'm looking at it in relationship with another card that I have sitting nearby. And I'm looking at this spiral path card, so you get a sense of the size. But this is more of the energy that this is probably what I would prefer, is to be aligned and balanced and feel responsive and not reactive. So that energy feels like, oh, look, these are, even the colors are connected. So there's some relationship between these two cards that's really interesting to me. And what I'm going to be working with is the relationship of she who reacts, this edgy self, as a wayfinder, and the spiral path, the centered self, who seems to be a wisdom keeper with that owl of wisdom. So again, I recognize some symbols and some energies and some parts of my own story that feel really, really important to me. And you can see that the edge of the card just creates a little bit of it creates enough of a guide that my scissors just go around it. And I'm not too careful. I don't want to be too perfectionistic in my creative process, but look at that. Look how that energy just sits inside of this energy, and how important it is. Perhaps this edgy energy that gets frustrated is the fire in the belly. Maybe this energy, when it's not isolated, is actually part of the wholeness of the balanced self, seeking the wisdom of the owl, standing barefoot. I can read some of the symbols that are here, but I get a sense that even in the eyes, the colors are connected. It's so interesting that my intuitive creating, ooh, look at that, where she becomes the head on the balanced self. And look at those colors just coming intuitively and working so beautifully. And you think about this as a compass card, so she's the true north. But what if I brought in another compass card? And here we have some, so let's look at them. So we bring in another compass card that can come right off the key ring. And what if this card is the south? So you can see how interesting, and let's bring in one with a word. This one says intrepid hikes. Let's bring in another energy. So see how evocative this is, how you can work with patterns and symbolism and really, really start to see how powerful it is to bring journey circles into your creative way.